Hello and welcome to News 9. I'm Nishchita, and first up, in a unique incident, a High Court judge has given punishment to an excise inspector for colluding with the accused in the case during court proceedings. The court has ordered Parmeshwaraya, the excise inspector, to remain standing during the rest of the proceedings. The issue started when one Anand Wines was shifted from Basaveshwar Nagar to Vijayanagar Club Road. Though the excise department had given its permission, what it had failed to take into account was the fact that Vijayanagar Club Road was a residential locality. Angry residents of Vijayanagar Club Road, who found no respite with the excise department, approached the High Court challenging the department's approval. Today, during the hearing of the case, the excise department representatives and Anand Wines advocate were present. The court even observed that the building which houses the wine store was given approval for residential purpose. During the argument, the judge noticed that Excise Inspector Parmeshwarappa was advising the wine shop lawyer and also the government lawyer. When the court questioned him regarding his behavior, Parmeshwarappa failed to provide satisfactory response. The judge, who was irked with the response, ordered the Excise Inspector to remain standing until the end of the proceedings.
One person who is sitting behind, he came to the other side lawyer and he talked about something. And then again he gone to his place, and once again he get up and gone to the government advocate to give some suggestions. By observing all this, the honorable judge asked that person, "Who are you?" I also thought that he is the owner of the liquor shop. Then he told, "I am the excise inspector." Then the honorable judge has asked the question, "What you are giving the suggestion to both liquor shop owner and also the government?" No, I have not talked anything. Called the police officers to arrest him. Then he made his apologies and oral unconditional apology. Then court has directed him to stand in the court.
Well, in fact, that is what happened at the High Court today. Even as the court was hearing the residents' pleas that Anand Wines was shifted to a building that is primarily for residential use and that it is against the law, but the excise department, instead of supporting the residents, was instead colluding with them to give them permission for the wine store to be located at the Vijayanagar Club Road. And moving on now, tension prevailed at the Kadasipalya area after BBMP officials broke the locks of 73 shops which were retailing fruits and vegetables. The officials said that the occupants had not yet paid rental for, believe it or not, 25 years and had sought renewal of their trade license. The traders had their own viewpoint, insisting that they had been remitting 1% of their turnover to the APMC. The traders noted that neither the APMC nor the BBMP had done anything to improve the facilities there. But on the other hand, the BBMP claimed that the traders had not paid rent or taxes for close to 25 years and hence did not have the authority to demand for any sort of a change.
ಈಗ 73 ಅಂಗಡಿ ಇದೆಯಮ್ಮ. 73 ಅಂಗಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರು ರಿನ್ಯೂವಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಮಾತ್ರ ಬಿಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದವರು, ಬಾಡಿಗೆ ಕಟ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದವ್ರದ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ನೆನೆ 10ನೇ ತಾರೀಕೆ ಒಂದು ಇದು ಲೈನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ವಿ. ಅಷ್ಟರೊಳಗಡೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ರಿನ್ಯೂವಲ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಾಡಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು 25-30 ವರ್ಷ ಆಗಿದೆಯಮ್ಮ. ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಒಂದು 300 ರೂಪಾಯಿ, 350, 385 ಅಷ್ಟರಲ್ಲೇ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಾವು 3ನೇ ನೋಟಿಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ರು ಅವ್ರು ಏನು ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಇದು ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಇವತ್ತು ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಬಂದು ಯಾರು ಅನಾಥರೈಸ್ ಆಗೆಲ್ಲ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ, ಬಾಡಿಗೆ ಕಟ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದವ್ರನ್ನ, ಅವ್ರನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಬಾಡಿಗೆ 1.25 ಕೋಟಿ ಇದೆ. ಇಬ್ಬರ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ 90% ಯಾರು ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಒಂದು 10% ಮಾತ್ರ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇವರು ಹಳೇದು 25 ವರ್ಷದ ಹಿಂದಿಂದೆ ಬಾಡಿಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಅನುಕೂಲಗಳು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗತ್ತೆ? ನಮಗೂ ಆದಾಯ ಬಂದರೆ ತಾನೇ ಇವ್ರಿಗೆ ಬೇಕಾದಂಥ ಒಂದು ಸೌಲಭ್ಯಗಳನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಕೊಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನಮಗೂ ಅವಕಾಶ ಆಗೋದು.
Well, in fact, there we have it, the BBMP going on to claim that had these traders paid up the amount due, then probably the arrangements, the betterment, the facilities could have been provided for them. But since for 25 years they have not bothered to pay taxes or pay up the rent for occupying these stalls, then they have no right to question as to why they have not been given the adequate facilities that they require very, very badly at the APMC yard. And while US President Barack Obama has sent a formal invite to Narendra Modi to visit the US Deputy Secretary of State William Burns delivered US President Barack Obama's invitation. The Prime Minister has accepted the invitation and told the visiting dignitary that he looks forward to a result-oriented visit with concrete outcome that imparts new momentum to strategic partnership. Modi is scheduled to visit US in September for the UN General Assembly in New York. Following the Obama invite, Modi will head to Washington to hold a summit meeting with the US President to take the India-US relationship forward. But let's not forget that though the US in the past has even gone ahead and has refused to issue a visa to Narendra Modi for his alleged non-action in the Gujarat riots, but after Modi was appointed as the Prime Minister of the country following a huge mandate for the BJP, the US too seems to be warming up to Narendra Modi. In fact, soon after Narendra Modi became the Prime Minister, the first congratulatory message came in from the US, and today an invitation has been sent across to Narendra Modi from the Obama government to visit the US in September. Well, in fact, the Prime Minister will be visiting the US in September is what we understand. After a formal invite was sent across, sources say that Modi told the visiting dignitary that he looks forward to a result-oriented visit with concrete outcome that imparts new momentum to strategic partnership. Modi is scheduled to visit US in September for the UN General Assembly in New York. Following the Obama invite, Modi will head to Washington to hold summit meeting with the US President to take the Indo-US relationship forward. Burns had met the Union Finance Minister, Arun Jaitley yesterday and discussed the bilateral ties between the two countries. Burns had also gone on to state that the world's two largest democracies and two largest economies, the US and India, share an interest in each other's success. The success in the partnership can contribute enormously to a safer and prosperous world is what Burns had gone on to state after the meeting. He had also said that President Barack Obama looked forward to Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to the US in September, which will be very valuable to renew strategic partnership between the two countries. The visiting US official said that the Modi-led BJP has won a very strong mandate to invigorate India's development and its rise to the world stage. And moving on now, Mandya Urban Development Commissioner K. Mathai has been transferred as the Land Acquisition Officer for the Bidar Karanja project. He will assume charge within the next 10 days. Mathai created quite a flutter when he exposed irregularities in land allotment in the Muda. He once again deposed before the Karnataka High Court about his scam on the 107 irregular allotment, and soon after which there were reports indicating that after Ambarish's indictment in the report that was put forth by the then Muda Commissioner Mathai, Ambarish had pushed for his transfer. So is this a forceful transfer because he's an honest officer, is the question being raised. Well, Mathai had played a crucial role in putting forth all the details of the Muda scam that ran into several hundreds of crores of rupees, and one of the prominent names that featured in this scam was that of Housing Minister Ambarish. But Ambarish, on the other hand, claimed that he had nothing to do with the scam, and he's being falsely indicted in the report put forth by Mathai. And Ambarish had reportedly even pushed for the transfer of the Muda commissioner. And now the transfer has materialized, but Ambarish's explanation to this was that the transfer order had already been given and he had only been asking for it to be implemented. And now the Muda commissioner has been transferred, we understand. He went on to state that he is satisfied for fulfilling the responsibilities entrusted upon him. Muda scam made other authorities more cautious, is what Mathai went on to state. But it is not known who this new Muda commissioner will be. But certainly big shoes to fill there. And well, if you thought BBMP was pathetic when it comes to dealing with rains, take a look at Mumbai. The BMC has had a fair warning of the rains that were due to hit the city, but their unpreparedness and apathy has resulted in waterlogged roads and drains across Mumbai. Well, take a look at these visuals as vehicles struggle to wade through the roads. The water level is such that probably even boats and ships can sail through them. The financial capital witnessed its second wettest day of monsoon 2014, helping it pull ahead of the suburbs in the total rain received this year. It has been raining incessantly since the last 2 days in Mumbai. The incessant heavy rainfall coinciding with high tide threw normal life completely out of gear. Several parts of the city and suburbs remained inundated due to the continuous rainfall which collided with the high tide. Many areas in the city and suburbs are waterlogged. Well, the rains are here, and that is causing nuisance to many bus commuters in the city. With many bus stops not having any shelter, commuters are forced to stand in the open, braving the chilly winds and rains. There are many locations, be it Alsur, Indiranagar, Old Madras Road and Domlur, where one comes across these shelterless bus stops. And commuters are finding it a tough task to put up with these shelterless bus stops, as many times the bus doesn't even stop at the location because of the shelter not being present. And with the rains, with it being cloudy and rainy all through the day, commuters are finding it all the more difficult to use public transportation. Well, in fact, a similar incident had taken place in Jayanagar quite recently, where overnight close to a 40-year-old bus shelter had been removed, which had historic significance as well. But overnight, the BBMP had come in and broken down the shelter. When the residents had questioned them, the BBMP had gone on to promise, the corporator, in fact, of the location had gone on to promise that the bus shelter will be replaced within 10 days' time. But it has been almost a month now, but the bus shelter is not back in place. So the BBMP clearly ignorant about the importance of the bus shelters in the city, where over 1 lakh commuters travel using buses every single day, and without bus shelters, they are practically out in the open, not knowing whether the bus will even stop in their location or not.